Hi, everyone. Welcome to our webinar. Welcome to another interactive Q&A session with TalentLMS. If you're ready, stay comfortable, grab a drink if you want, and stay with us to ask any questions and get answers about anything you need in TalentLMS. Now, let's get to know each other before we start answering questions. I'm Theo. I'm part of the customer enablement team, and I'll be hosting the session today alongside my good colleague, Nick.
Hi there, I'm Nick, and of course, I'm looking forward to see what topics you're going to choose and what answers we're going to give you today.
So, talking about topics, let me just get a few things out of the way. First of all, how are you going to choose your topics? Every 15 minutes, we're going to shoot a poll, and the poll will contain two different features of TalentLMS. You can choose whichever feature you want to talk about, and based on your choice, we will answer your questions about the feature that you have chosen. So it's a bit of fun. You're going to select which feature you want to learn about, and you're going to ask us the question that you want about that feature. Of course, the poll is anonymous, so we don't collect any names, and this is just a way to get the conversation going. Also, the webinar will be recorded, so you will receive the recording once the session is over, and you're more than welcome to share it with anybody who wants to learn more about TalentLMS and maybe has the same questions as you. How do you ask your questions? On the meeting controls, if you have a look right now, there is a Q&A button. You can click on it, you can ask anything you like, and of course, you also have the option to ask anonymously, but us, we love to have a direct conversation with you. So if you include your name, that's always good because we know that we are talking straight to you, even through the camera. If you're ready, let's get started. So the very first poll I'm going to push out is this one. So let me know what you would like to talk about. Is it user sign-up methods or is it import? Nick, what do you think the people would choose?
Uh, Honestly, their choice, I think probably user sign-up methods is going to be a bit more popular. I guess we're going to see, right?
Exactly, and we are almost on the fence, so it's almost a 50-50 situation here. But just to recap a few things as you make up your choice, user sign-up methods in TalentLMS can be different, and you can have people who directly sign up, you can have sign-ups to social media, you can have SSO, you can have lots of different ways. And at the same time, import is valuable because you can bring historical data in TalentLMS and you can make your user addition, branch group creation very easy. Now, I can see the poll has ended and the people have spoken. So I can see import is the topic of choice. So I'm going to leave the floor to Nick.
Oh, very nice. So actually, let me share my screen as well. And since, of course, we chose import, feel free to use your chat, as Theo mentioned before, and send us your questions in regards to import. So let's actually see what questions we have here. Again, you don't need to use your name. If you want to do it anonymously, by all means, you can do that. So I see a question here from Natalie. Can users sign up using LinkedIn? Very nice question. So you can essentially enable signups through social media on your account. How can you do this? As you see, I'm logged into the platform and already I am an admin. So we're looking here at the account and settings option. And from here, what we want to do is to check the users tab. Now, this helps a lot because I could just talk straight away about our social options for sign up, but it gives me also the opportunity to talk about direct and manual sign up. So we have essentially two core different ways of signing up. When we're talking about manual sign up, then we are going to talk about people creating their accounts on their own. On the other hand, if you have direct sign up, then it works pretty much like social media. So people are going to be able to self sign up in the same way that you do pretty much on Facebook. For example, you provide your own details, you get added to the TalentLMS platform. So you leave basically the account creation a lot in the heads of your learners, whereas on the manual option, it is the admin who is going to create the accounts. So with the social options, essentially, you have the ability to allow people to create accounts with their social media profiles. For this to be able to work, you need to have selected direct sign up as your option. And if you select direct sign up as your option, and then you can click on that, and basically you can allow people to allow signups through the social media. You cannot necessarily have Facebook, Google, LinkedIn, all three of them. You have the ability to use whichever of these you would actually have. So pick whichever of these you want. And actually, I'm going to enable this just to show you how this would look like. So let's say I just want to keep Google and LinkedIn here as an option. And I'm going to save that. Remember, I need direct sign up enabled for this. So now that it is already set up, if I sign out, then this is my login page. Now, if I was a new user, I could sign up and either provide my details to create my account, or alternatively, I could sign up with my social media. And as you see, I have the option to connect my Google or my LinkedIn account. So that's a very easy way to do this. Now, let's also see your questions here. I see a question from Jamie. So administrator, branch, you click the specific one. Very nice question. What does this mean, restrict registration to specific domains? Very nice. First off, I want to tell you that this option also exists on the main site. So if you really wanted to, you could have this option on the main site as well. You can find it in account and settings. And if you go a bit down under security, you can actually have the same option, restrict registrations to specific domain. But as you actually mentioned, Jamie, yes, you're absolutely correct. You can set up your sign up on a per branch level, essentially. So you can go into your branches, and let's say this one. And indeed, I have the option to pick direct or manual here. And here's the option you were talking. So here's the option you've been talking about. What does this do? Restrict registration to specific domains works very, very nice in conjunction with direct sign up. And this is here if you want people to create accounts on their own, but you actually want to force them to use a specific email. It is a very common requirement and request that we see from people where you want your learners to create an account, but you don't want them to use Gmail. Maybe you want them to use their corporate email, or you want them to use specific email addresses. So this is what you can do here. You can type, for example, TalentLMS.com. And basically what this would do is that it allows people to self-sign up that have an email with whatever prefix at what you have actually typed here. So basically you can select exactly with what emails people are allowed to create accounts. You can add more than one using a comma, and you can enter a second email suffix. So now you're limited to 2 different emails. Or if you want, you can do an exclusion rule by using the tilde key. So you could do that, which basically means select, allow people to create accounts with whichever email they have, except those that have the talentlms.com suffix. So this is something you can set up, as you said correctly, on a branch level. So I hope we are on the same page here. So I hope it really makes sense. Now, I see a question also here from Cynthia, and she's asking, what is the difference between email verification and admin activation? This again is something that you can either set up on a branch level or you can set it up on the main site. Since I'm on the main portal now, here I have user verification. And indeed, there's a couple of different options I can pick. But also I want to show you that this is something you can set up on the main site as well, very commonly. And also, if you don't use branches, you want to set it up on your main site as well. Under the users options, you see I could have email verification or admin activation. Just a note on that, if I change my sign up method from direct to manual, suddenly I do not see these options. These options only appear when I select direct sign up. The reason I pick direct sign up and then I have this is because my user verification is tied to my sign up. As we said before, with the direct sign up, you essentially allow people to self-create their own account. So probably you want to find some method of security which will allow you to only admit essentially people that have to be in your platform. This is why you have email verification or admin activation. They work similarly, but they do kind of a different thing between each other. So an email verification allows your user to provide their details, create their account, and then the account is not created. So then after they create the account, they cannot straight away log in. The system is going to send an email to the user that's self-signed up in their email address, and it will have a link. And this is something also very commonly done with social media nowadays, something along the lines, hey, Nick, welcome to TalentLMS. Please click on the link below to verify your email address. And my learner has to click actually on the link to verify their email address, and then the account is going to be created. So this is very useful when I have people that I want them to self-create their accounts, but I want to make sure that they are the owners and they have access to the email that they use when they try to create that specific account. The other option is admin activation. Admin activation works initially in the same way. My user is still going to provide their details to create their account. And again, the account is not going to be straight away created. Now, the difference in comparison to email verification is that with admin activation, the system will not send an email to the learner that just signed up. It's going to send to the admin. And there, it's going to inform the admin. Nick, for example, has signed up. This is their username. This is their email address. That's their first name. That's their last name. And based on this information, the admin is informed of who is trying to create an account. It has a link at the bottom. The admin, if they want to allow access, then they click on the link and the account is created. If the admin doesn't want to allow access, then they don't click on the link. Essentially, they don't authorize the creation of the account. Let's see here. I see a follow-up from Jamie. And again, Theo, I'm not sure about our time. If you want to go to our next poll, maybe after this one, let me know.
Yes, let's do that. Let's have a look at what other topics we have, just because it's one of those things that if you get started, we can talk for hours, and we want to be able to cover as many questions for different topics as possible. But of course, one thing I promise to everyone in the chat as well is that we'll do our best to answer as many questions live as we can, but at the same time, we can retrieve your questions, and therefore I will do my best to follow up with as many of you as possible in the coming days. So if you don't get your answer live now, brace with me and I'll follow up manually, especially if something needs a bit more technical or a bit more consulting answer as well. Let me just shoot out the second topic. Right, so here's the debate here. What would you have questions for? Is it automations or is it ILT? Now, automations, a very quick one as well, are available to premium and enterprise plans, and literally they're time savers. That's what we call them, because you can automatically assign courses to people, you can deactivate people, you can do a lot of manual labor with automations just by setting them up and then forgetting them. And ILTs, instructor-led training, we've all been in remote meetings a couple of years, and you can combine blended learning in TalentLMS with your live meetings, and therefore you can have everything under the same course, everything in the same place, and track the attendance and the time they've spent in live meetings as part of the overall training. I think that's, again, the people have spoken. So I'm going to share my results here. And what I do see is that there is a desire to talk about automations. So without any further delay, I'm going to take this over and share my screen. Let me know if you can see it. And I hope you do. So here we go. Let's talk about automations. First of all, send any questions you have about automations, and you will get them answered in a moment. But one thing that I just want to retrieve is one of the questions that came to me in an email in preparation of the webinar. Some of you do that, so thank you. Keep doing it if you want. There's one from Johan. Can I delete users automatically? So let me show you. The answer is yes. You can go to automations, add automation, and you have the option to select the event trigger here. So if I type the word delete, here it is, number of hours after last login, deactivate or delete user. So you can select it and say how many hours. For example, I'm going to say 240 hours, which is pretty much 10 days. 240 hours after the last login of somebody, delete it. That's what Johan wanted. But is it a good idea to delete users? Maybe not, because once somebody is deleted, of course, you can undelete them for a couple of days, but once you delete them, everything is gone. The data is gone, the reports for them are gone, everything related to them is gone. So what I would suggest, Johan, is to deactivate the user, because that's the best of both worlds. The user that is deactivated, they do not count against your user summary. So you can replace them. So you can deactivate a couple of users and replace them with somebody else. And everything is kept. All the data is kept. Their reports, their progress, their assignment submissions, anything. So that means, of course, that you have the option to still benefit of them not being here, still release that user slot, but of course, deactivate the user and keep the data instead of deleting. Very quick one. Filters, you have the option to filter based on the user type or based on groups or branches. So that's something that you can do as well. And again, don't forget, add a name to your automation, save it, and that will run unless you decided not to run. Let's see what questions we have here about that. So Lindsay, will you ever offer automations a la carte? We'll never have enough people for the premium plan. Lindsay, great question, great feedback. Not gonna lie with you, this is something that we have heard before, and I can tell you that this is something that we are definitely considering as being able to offer more flexibility about the feature. So stay tuned, and you might hear from us. The other thing, another anonymous question: will these automations include the branch URL they've been assigned to? Depending on what you're looking for, because the branch URL is not something that can be worked within any automation, because the automation reflects only people that are within your portal anyway. So they know that they need to log in here to access your training, your portal. So I'm not quite sure if I understand this question correctly, but definitely feel free to send me more clarifications here, or if you want to elaborate a little bit on that, definitely send an email to success@talentlms.com. I'll send it in the chat once Nick takes over. Another question from an anonymous friend: how do we make an automation to assign a course automatically when you create a user? Brilliant question. So what you're looking for is, upon sign up, assign courses. So all I'm gonna do is type the word sign and see what we have here. Here we go. Number of hours after user sign up, assign courses. So that's what you're looking for there. So let's say 24 hours, so one day after, let's say somebody signs up, you can assign to them those courses, and of course, name your automation, save it, and it will work right away. So I hope that helps. There is another one as well. how do I make an automation to assign courses automatically when you put a user in a group? I'm afraid you cannot do that. You cannot assign course automatically when you put a user in a group. But what you can do is, and that's what I was getting in my private answer to you before, because I remember now the conversation, is that you can assign a course to a users after something else is completed. So if I type here assign, you see number of hours after course assignment, assign more, number of hours after course completion, assign those courses, for instance, or after failure. And you would see that some of them do not have any further filters here. But if I say, for instance, this one, number of hours after course assignment, assign course, I can filter based on whether this person belongs to the customer success group or whether this person belongs to the distributor branch, for example, or distributor branch or customer success group as well. I think this is what you're looking for, and that's what I was trying to explain very briefly, not very successfully before in a private chat. Let's see another one as well. And we have lots of great questions here. So Jamie is asking, the automations that are sent to the learners who are 3 days overdue for completing the courses, will the email they receive include the URL or website to click? Right. So, Jamie, that's not an automation, that's a notification you're asking for. So the answer is yes. So if I go back to home and if I go to the events engine, you're talking about the notifications here, not the automations. So the quick answer to what you're saying, yes. And if you're talking about the people that are overdue, so that could be, for instance, let's see, before course expiration, that would be, for instance, then you could have your body here, where of course you can include the course URL, which is the placeholder, which will have the course link that they can click and go straight to the course based on where that course and that user is. So the answer is yes, but we're talking about notifications. Let's see another one. Is it possible to call a custom webhook from an automation? My friend, this seems to be an API question. I can definitely talk to you about anything you can press here, but for the API related questions on that technical matter, I would suggest you drop a message to our support team. They are the tech support team and they can advise. The quickest way to speak to support is help, and then just contact support, drop them a message here, and that's all you need, and they will be able to advise back to that. Let's see what else we have. We have lots of quite API related questions. So again, I would suggest those to be handled by support. They are the tech experts there. And there's another one from Kim. Do you have to create an automation for the learner to be reassigned a course? I have the option ticked under certificates, but not sure if this needs to be created as an automation. Beautiful question, Kim. The quick answer is no. And for everybody, what Kim has done is this. When you work on a course, in the settings, you have the option to go to your certificate, select your certificate, pick its duration. It can be a set amount of time or it can be more custom options. And then what Kim has done has ticked reassign the course to the user either when the certificate expires or even proactively. So Kim, you don't have to do anything. This works like a charm by itself. The course is being reset and reassigned to the user anytime that the certificate duration is passed. But I have also the same thing to you for automations, and I'm going to add something extra there. You can create an automation, and if I'm going to call here certificate, so this is it. On course certificate expiration, reset and assign courses. That's the same pretty much, right? But here you can reset and assign more courses. So if you have a learning path and say to obtain the certificate in course number 3, you need to have done number 2 before, number 1 before that, and each of those is a prerequisite. This will allow you to reset and reassign all of them, not just course 3 based on the course settings. So reset and assign, for instance, course 1, course 2, course 3. So of course, if you've set learning paths within them, people will do 1, 2, 3 in the order that you want, and not only reassign course 3 based on the course settings you had. I hope that little tip would help you experiment with those as well. Let's see what else we have here. There's a lot of good questions, a lot of interesting questions. And one more question that I will answer here, and that is about automations, is if my branch admins that's coming from Nick, not this one, because I think that this Nick knows the answer. So can my branch
For sure,
ad,
it's not me.
I wish it's not you. So the answer is, the question is, can my branch admins make automations for the branches? No, they cannot. But your main portal admins can make automations for the branches. So you can add an automation right here. And based on the type of automation, that can maybe have a filter related to groups or branches. For example, I think I showed you one before, this one, number of hours after course assignment, assigned courses, and the filter here, yes, can be based on branch. So for instance, you can have um, priority endeavor, that's a fictional branch about, let's say, a partner. So this automation can work only for people belonging in branches. But this is something that you have to check based on the type of automations. So that way, some of them are related to branches and groups, some of them are related to users, some of them are related to courses. So the filter is applicable based on the type of automations. And yes, some of them can be set by branches. Branch admins cannot set their own automations. Why? Because if I go into a branch, and you'll see what I mean now, there is no automations there. Do you see any automation there? So branch admins can only control related content about their own branch, right? But the automations that we can create in an account, they can be created for a majority of things for the entire account. And you definitely don't want your branch admins to be changing things for other branches or for your entire account. So that's why we don't. I think we don't have any other automation questions here. So what we'll do is we'll move to the next poll. So are you ready?
Here, I'm very interested to see what people are going to vote.
Okay, let's say then. Right, so let me see. Do you see the poll already? No, you don't. Let me see why I cannot launch it, for instance. And this is the technical sides of Zoom. But of course, if we cannot launch it, I'm going to tell you verbally. But let me just check. All right, so that's the second topic. Bear with me a second. Right, here we go. Crisis averted. Let's see what you have to say. Is it assignments or is it course settings? What do you think, Nick, is going to happen?
Honestly, I want to see what people will vote. I think course settings has a lot more critical information for the people, but I also think I saw somewhere a question about assignments previously in our chat. So, depends on what people find more valuable.
All right, well, I can see that course settings actually seem to be more of interest. So I'm going to end the poll right here and share the results. And as everybody can see, course
Uh,
settings it is.
I
So,
thought we'd be closer, actually.
well, you never know. So, Nick, I'm going to mute my mic and take it over.
Sure. So, folks, questions in regards to course settings, put them up in the chat. More than happy to actually answer. So generally, when we're working with course settings, we can do this as an admin or we can do that as an instructor. I'm going to show you the instructor because we've already talked a lot about the admin side of things today. Why not have something shown from the instructor view as well? So let's see if we have any questions here. So here I have one. How does the instructor get notified when they have pending assignments to grade? This is a common question, actually. A lot of people ask us. So you see I'm logged in as the instructor, and you would actually see it if I was sharing my screen. There we go. So you see that I'm logged in as the instructor, and I already have here assignments and ILTs. This is something that is going to help me out when I have a pending assignment. Then I can actually look at the little heads here. I can click on that, and basically the system is going to show me whichever pending assignments I have to grade. So I think this is quite straightforward here. Now, let's see more about the course settings if we have any specific questions in regards to that. So I see a question here. You're asking, it's from Ron. And Ron's asking, what's the difference between the active and the hide from course catalog button? Okay, very nice question. So let's say you're the instructor of a course, right? Or you're trying to make a new one. I'm going to edit this one. It's really the same screen. Just click Edit Course. And you will see that I have these two options here. So you see it is active and hidden. Active basically means the course is live. So if a course is active, this practically means that I can assign this course to people and people can actually start working with it. That makes sense. So the course is live if it's active. If I uncheck it, then it's going to be inactive. And in which case do we want a course to be inactive? First off, if a course is inactive, then my learners cannot progress in it. The people that can actually see it are the instructors and the admins of the course. Why would you want, though, to have an inactive course? Usually, there's two reasons why you might want to have an inactive course. And the one has to do with course creation. So if I'm creating a course and it's quite a big course, maybe it's going to take me a lot of time to create it. Maybe it's going to take me 2 weeks to create the whole course. If that is the case, do I want my learners to see the course, maybe get excited, start working on it when it's not ready for them yet? No. So I'm going to have the course inactive while I'll work and prepare my material and order it in the way that I want it to be. And when I have everything in place, then I'm going to click on active and the course is going to go live. Also, you can have kind of a reverse situation with that, where you have the course active and you're running the course normally, but the course has actually fulfilled its purpose. So you don't have any more people that you want them to take the course and you want to sundown it. Could you delete it? Yes, you could. But if you deactivate the course instead, you get the bonus of being able to keep all your reporting in regards to the course. So yes, for all intents and purposes, and as far as your learners are concerned, the course is sundown, so people cannot use it anymore. But for you, instead of just deleting it, you keep the data so you can call back to them and you can have a richer reporting experience. The other option here is to hide from the course catalog. And basically, it says what it says on the tin is exactly what it does. Hide from the course catalog means that if this specific course is given this checkbox, then it will not appear in your catalog. In simple words, it means that this course is not available for your learners to self-enroll in it, which means that essentially it is hidden from your learners. So your learners cannot go into the catalog, look at the course, see it's interesting, and then pick it up. However, you can choose to give the course to specific people, and then these people would have access to it. So essentially, a hidden course is a course that you choose who you're going to give it to, and the rest of the people cannot access it. Again, this is only for learners. Your instructors are always there, and they can participate normally on the course. Let's see if we have other questions as well here. So a question from Erica. How do I add instructors to an existing course? Now, this would depend, Erica, on whether you're an admin or an instructor. You can do it a bit differently. I'll show you both ways. If you're an instructor, just click on the course. You go here, users and progress. And basically you click on enroll users and you add the person that you want. So if you know that this person here is an instructor, you click on add to enroll them. And now you're going to see that they were enrolled in this course. If they're an instructor, they would be added as an instructor. As the admin, you have more granular control over it. Same idea. You go to your courses. You go to the course that you want to. Let's say it was this one. And now you click on users. And here you can add people. So I can add this person. And very easily you add them. Now, if that person is an instructor, the system will default to adding them as an instructor in the platform. However, you have the ability, because you are the admin, to decide if on that specific course they might just be a learner and not an instructor. So also you have that additional control in terms of how you're going to sign up that specific individual to the course. An instructor would always add somebody as a learner or an instructor. The system would default to the highest possible role, whereas an admin can actually pick which specific role they're going to have within the course. So I hope this makes sense. I see a question from Vicky. Can you set a certificate achievement differently for different groups? You can have one course as two student groups. One would receive the certificate, the other group wouldn't receive it. Nice question, Vicky. No, you cannot really do that, but I'll tell you a workaround that you can do. So as you correctly notice, when you have here your course, edit course to go back to my settings, and all the way down, I have the option to give a certificate upon completion. Now, you will see that this is a drop-down, which basically means I can only pick one certificate for this course. So what this means is basically whoever completes the course, they're going to get a certificate. Which one? This one specifically. So in that sense, I cannot make a distinction between people originating from different groups or even different branches. But you know what you can do? You can go to your courses as an admin, find the course in question, and you can use the little magnet here. This is going to make a copy of the course, so it's going to clone it. So you can clone the course, have a copy of it, name it a bit differently, just so you know which one is which. And then on one of the two courses, upon completion, have them get the certificate. On the other course, have the people upon completion receive a different one or maybe no certificate whatsoever. And then make sure you assign the correct course to the correct people. And there you go. Let's see here. More questions. That's from an anonymous attendee. An instructor's progress does not show in the reports. What's the best way to have them show up on the report? Very nice question. I think somebody asked something before like that in the chat and I sent them a private reply. I'm sorry, I don't remember who it was. So first off, you're absolutely correct. If you're an instructor and you complete a course, then your whole completion does not show up in the reporting. Why is that? If you think about it, you are the instructor of the course. So you're the person that actually created the material. So it doesn't make a lot of sense if I'm the person that creates a test and provides the answers for the test to then congratulate myself because I completed the test that I have created. And also remember, you're the instructor. You can always open the course in a new tab and basically see the answers of the test, even if you don't remember them. So the system knows that. This is why if you're an instructor, then you cannot have your completion actually show up on the reports. How can we counter this? Essentially, we have two different things we can do. The first option is to have the instructor also have a learner account, which is not tied at all to them being an instructor. If they complete the course with that account, then obviously, because they're only a learner, their record is going to be captured in the reporting. The other option is a bit more niche, but maybe it's something that will help you out. So let's say I have this course, for example, and I have actually users here. Now, I see Theo, why not? Theo is enrolled as an instructor in this course. I can swap him over to a learner, and as long as his status remains a learner in this course, his record of completion is going to be captured and is going to show in your reporting. This, of course, removes Theo effectively from being an admin, an instructor in the course, but it's something we have to consider as an alternative. For example, maybe I just want to participate in some courses from our IT team as a normal person, even though I am an instructor in the courses that pertain to TalentLMS. So that's something you can do. Somebody can be an instructor in a course, but as an admin, you can register them as a learner in another one, in which case the record is going to show up. Let's see another question here. Can we have, again, from an anonymous person, can we have the same groups of users as instructors in one branch and learners in another branch, or does it have to be changed at the course level? A very nice question. Generally speaking, an instructor can always be a learner, but whatever your role is going to follow you across all of the branches. So if you are an instructor, you're going to be an instructor in branch A, but also an instructor in branch B. So the only way to actually change that is exactly as you said, on a course level, then you can actually change and have them be learners. I think we have time for a couple more.
There are lots of good questions. So yes, I
Yes.
think we can have two more.
Sure. Give me a second because my throat dried. So
In the meantime, what I want to say is that everybody has amazing questions. You've seen me and Nick answering offline a couple of questions during one segment, the other one is answering. But of course, some of you might need to contact support for the technical ones. So that's help@talentlms.com. And some of us can follow up with you. So success@talentlms.com. This is our direct email. So as I promised somebody, I'm going to send you tomorrow a video reply even. So send us what you feel that we can help with and we'll find a way to do it.
So thanks, Theo. Let's do a couple more questions since we have time. I see a question from Mali here. I really like this question. We train a technical system and we were wondering if once a course has been completed by an individual, can this course be automatically removed from the learner and replaced by another course? So automatically, we can do half of it. On a manual scale, though, you can pretty much do whatever you want. Let me show you. So for the automatic part, I'm going to call back to what Theo said before, automations. So you can create an automation that basically will be the second one. So after a user completes this course, let's say I want them to wait 1 hour, and then I'm going to automatically assign this one to them. So that's one way to do it, but it's half of it because you cannot really remove the course from them. So how do you go about removing the course from the people? There is not an automatic way to remove the course from the people, but there is something I can show you. It's going to take a bit more time, so maybe that will be my last question, but I think it's going to help you out. You can use custom reports for this. If you have them, it's a very strong functionality. It's available in TalentLMS for our plans of the Plus subscription currently and higher, but I think it's a really, really powerful tool. So what you could do is you can create a custom report. And of course, you need to give it a name. So I'm going to call it course removal. And it's going to be about users. And then you put your conditions here. And I'm just going to start with a super basic condition. I want to add people that have completed the course. Which one? This one, for example. So basically, this is going to show you all the people that have completed this specific course. Now, if you want to narrow it down, for sure, you can also say, show me people from this branch and maybe also people from this group. And again, the way this works, every new line you make is an end statement, so it has to be valid. So this is going to show you everybody from the branch Espanol who belongs in the customer support training group and that has completed this specific course. All of these have to be true. You add the report, and it's going to find however many people meet your criteria. Now, let me just kind of keep it to one argument so I can find some people. So this would show me all the people that have completed this specific course. Okay, here's what you can do. Mass actions, and then you can remove them from a course. And here you would pick the course that they actually completed. Or maybe you want to add them to a new course, enroll to course. So it's not automatic, but it's very powerful because this way you actually create a set of people that meet your criteria. This is dynamic. So next time you're going to run the report, it's going to actually update with the new people that meet your criteria. And then you can just remove them this way and enroll them through an automation or this way as well. I think that, I don't know, Theo, if we have more time. I would like to do one more if we have time.
Well, we don't, but if everybody's happy to stay for one more questions, please go ahead.
So I want to actually pick a question here from Vicky that I saw, and I really like this question. So is there a way to prevent students who have already completed the course to complete this course again once we update it? The course code is going to stay the same, only the content will slightly change. Very nice question. Now, the reason I really wanted to answer this question is kind of double. First off, when a learner completes a course, let's say I have a course that has 4 units in there. So my learner completes all of these 4 units. What is their completion percentage? 100%. Congratulations. Maybe they get a certificate. Now, 5 months pass, and then I add 1 more unit. So now my course has 5 units. What will happen with the people that completed the course when it had 4 units? Their completion status will remain at 100%. Why is that? Because when these people did actually take the course, it had 4 units in them, and they actually completed it. So it's not their fault that I actually add content after the fact. So these people, by default, will see having their course completed at 100%. So Vicky, you don't need to really worry about that. When somebody sees a completed course, generally they don't just go in and try to do it again. But I also want to show you how you can bring it back in line. So if that was the course and I just added some more material, what you can do to bring people back in line, you can either do it individually with a little kind of recycling icon, synchronize, or with a big one, synchronize all. It's going to have all of your users, and it's going to sync their completion percentage with the new data that we have, the new amount of content that you have added to the course. So that's going to bring them back to the correct percentage. And of course, that is something that you can do if you want to motivate them, if you want to let them know that they're missing something and they need to complete the most updated version. So by default, they would remain at 100%. If, however, you want to change that, synchronize all is the button you're looking for.
So I think we have cleared these pending questions. And to be very fair, we have answered 65 questions in written and live. So thank you everybody for submitting your questions. That's truly important. And what I would like to share with you is the ways that you can reach out to us. So I've already dropped them in the chats. Our direct email is success@talentlms.com. I've also shared our support email there, help@talentlms.com. So you can go for the API, the technical questions there, but of course, for any best practices, feature related questions, you can drop us an email. As promised, I will follow up tomorrow with some of you. Some of them, some of the questions need a more detailed answer, so you'll hear from me. But we would love to hear from you as well. So in the chats right now, I'm gonna drop a survey, and like we answer your questions, please can you answer our questions as well? So this is the feedback survey that we would love to get from you, so that way we know what you like about the webinar, what you would like to improve, and what you would like to see in more webinars. And we love your honest feedback, because we're doing this together, and of course we're doing webinars that you would like to see and you are asking for. Thank you, Nick, for doing a great job with the questions.
Thank you, Theo. I always love answering questions from the people. I like it so much.
Brilliant. So see you next time, and you'll receive the recording. And of course, sharing is caring, so pass it away. Thank you very much. Take care and see you next time.